That's not really an issue in a marathon, but I'm just used to it that way. Time starts first time I click on Lil, so 3, 2, 1, go. This is Escape Plan. It's a very unique puzzle platformer. You can tell just by looking at it, it's quite unique. Do not adjust your sets. It really is black and white.
Oh boy, at least, me being colorblind won't be affected.
Indeed. The first few rooms are very simple. They're really just to introduce you to the controls. If I weren't using the challenge mode, I would be getting button prompts to tell me, like, how to stop Lil from moving forward, how to move him from one side to another, and so on and so forth. First several rooms are so simple, I like to do a little bit of auto-scroller swag in the background, breaking light bulbs, you know, just interacting with the various stuff in the room. This one's probably one of my favorites. To make that happen. Yeah, the black and white visual style and the music combine to make this game very unique. Maybe that's a bit of a redundancy. If something is truly unique, you don't have to call it very unique. One thing I really like about this game is the varying difficulty in rooms kind of after the first few. The first few are all quite simple. But after the first few, there's hard rooms and easy rooms sprinkled all throughout the playthrough. I have actually submitted this game to AGDQ. I don't think it has a great chance at being picked, but you never know. That's the first little gameplay mechanic with Lil, is after he drinks coffee, he is able to run with super speed. He has another little power that we'll see in a minute. His fat friend Larg also has 2 little powers. As we'll see here, Lil's Coffee Dash is so fast it can actually take him briefly over sections where there is nowhere for him to stand. He can run over empty space. See if we can get the minions to kill each other. Nah, if another sheep had fallen in the room, they would have. Because they both would have fired at it, one would have hit and the other would have hit the other minion. There are PlayStation 4 trophies in this game for killing sheep in every possible room. It's actually one of the donation incentives I suggested on the GDQ submission was save or kill the sheep. Because it totally doesn't make a difference. This game was originally released for the PlayStation Vita. It was widely recognized as one of the finest titles on that console. This is the PlayStation 4 version. Get up here. Thank you. The port from handheld to home console is this cursor. Everything I do with this cursor in the original PlayStation Vita version, you would do by physically touching the screen of the Vita console. This is our first room where both characters are controllable. Even though there are several rooms where both characters are controllable, there are no co-op aspects to this game. It's strictly single player. Rooms are starting to get a little more complex now. Certainly they're more optimized. Oh, might be getting a glitch here. No, okay, there's a rare glitch that can happen when Lil falls on that bed that he can just, as he steps off the bed, he'll just die. I don't know why it happens. You may have seen the drawing circles going round and round there. You do use that, you do those, like in English, I promise you, on the touchpad on the DualShock 4 controller, and again, on the original PlayStation Vita version of the game, you would draw those on the actual screen of the Vita console. This here introduces our first little bit of speed tech in the game. The characters move faster when they're not on camera. So whenever it's patently obvious where they're headed, I will try not to have the camera on them. Larg also moves faster than Lil, so anytime the two of them have to walk exactly the same distance, you always want to start Lil first. That's very kind of you to say, Stealing Bread. It's a pretty good coffee dashes. There's a rhythm with which you have to hit the buttons to end up right next to the button on the other side. Larg butt slams through that. That's his first little power. Well, we actually already saw the other one. He rolled through an obstruction in the wall. He's putting his bulk to use. This is Lil's other power. You can drink helium and float through the air.
Hey, when I
You saw Lil's
oh,
head.
sorry. Do you care if I read a donation? We have $15 from Lady, and I'm sorry if I butcher this. I only speak 2 languages, but Lady Snail? I don't know if the A and E is just like the Russian A and E, but she says, "Great work as always, guys and gals, putting this toward assuring Mega Man Sprite Game 2 sees the light of day. This masterpiece needs to be seen to be believed. Kappa."
Alright. You can see Lil's head move around a little bit as he's floating through the air. That's controlling the direction in which he flies. And you do that by utilizing the 6-axis controls in the PlayStation 4 controller. Once again, in the original Vita version, you would physically move the entire console to make that happen. See, right there, I tried not to have Lil on camera because he floats up faster when he's not. This room is very annoying in an all collectibles run of this game. Because there's no way to get the warning sign. That's what the collectibles are. As warning signs. There's no way to get the warning sign without dying. So it makes you feel like a scrub. Sections like that one, it's better to keep the character on camera because he slows down more if he bumps into things on the way up. Moving the camera here influences Lil to get around this little bump in the platform. This is not the intended way to get through this room. You'll see when we enter the next room, because we're not deflating to get through it, we're just walking through it. We're expected to deflate and land on that little platform, which is totally possible, but it's about 100 times harder. Alright. This is marathon safety. Ordinarily, the second thrust would have been downward towards the blades, which is every bit as dangerous as it sounds. But that's how you save time in this room. The way I did it, there's almost no chance of dying, but if you thrust downward toward the blades, you know, 50-50. Last thrust gets you into the hitbox for the next room. And we're doing pretty good so far. Anything that's pulled outward, like these platforms here, in the original PlayStation Vita version of the game, you would tap the back of the console to make that happen. This room is always a little scary. I always think this amount of smoke that's left by the third platform will be enough to kill Larg. It never is, but I always think it is.
It's like the fear of the, oh, is this gonna be the one time? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. This room... Well, let's just see about this room. Let's see if the sheep decide to be nice to me. Okay, I can't be that close to the door. It'll kill me if it opens. Sheep, you had one job. You had one job, sheep. That's a large time loss, but luckily my estimate is very generous. I should be able to walk through that door in stride, without stopping Larg at all. I've done it several times. It's not horribly difficult, it's just tricky. But I think you can probably see what I'm saying about the varying difficulty of rooms throughout the run. Oh, this room here is really cool. This is one that I've optimized. Let's see if I don't mess it up. I think I already did a little. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I messed it up a little. It's super possible to get past the rotating platforms there without having to wait for that cycle. If you do everything right beforehand. It's not quite as hard as I'm making it sound, but it is difficult. And I tested this. It's faster to drink again and do coffee rashes after the way than to just walk the whole way. This is a tricky level to do correctly. Stop Larg on the large button. You have to move him forward while Lil is getting on the smaller button. And then stop Lil before he walks off it. That way Larg walks through the door in stride. Notice we're still controlling Lil here. Once Larg gets through the door, we move him forward, and we stop Larg on the big button on the other side. Hit the button. Start Larg here? That was a little late starting Larg, but we got him through the door in stride. Okay, this room is dependent on an audio cue, so I'm gonna have to listen for that. Start Larg walking forward, start Lil floating upwards, get him around the electricity. That's the audio cue to stop Larg in his tracks. This is also marathon safety. These two thrusts there. I would ordinarily try to thrust downwards a little bit, but doing that runs the risk of hitting the electrical wires on the sides. Bounce off of the side of the button there, get our last thrust through the door. That saves... I actually don't know if it saves any time, but it looks cool as heck. This room is where most of my runs end. And it's because of glitchy sheep.
We'll cross our fingers for you so you don't die.
The sheep are being very cooperative this time. Why can't they be this cooperative during my PB runs? This is pretty much perfect how this room is supposed to go. There's a glitch that I swear happens a good 40% of the time, where one or more of the sheep will become stuck in the floor and won't move. And as you can see, I had to have them on the bottom floor there to be my soft landing pad. So if they're stuck in the ground and don't move, you can't do the run. And certainly if it had happened here, I could have reset the run. But in a PB run, it pretty much ends everything.
So the glitches can be fixed just by resetting the level, not the whole game?
Yeah, anytime you can reset the level.
Oh, that's actually pretty convenient. It's not a reoccurring within that one time glitch.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could happen again if you reset the room. It certainly has happened to me again, but you get another chance, is how, is
Gotcha.
what I'm saying. That intermission cutscene is actually super cute. Bakuki's minions, that's Bakuki right there, the big evil guy in the game. They do a little dance number. But obviously we can't wait around to watch it in the speed time. Send the electric bar up. Get Will to drink the helium. I've been trying like crazy to get a deathless run of this game. My best run for deaths is 1 death. It's not actually my fastest run. My fastest run had 2 deaths. The 1 death run was over a minute slower. So there is significant time that can be gained and lost in taking these rooms. It's not all about just getting through them deathless. This room used to be the bane of my existence. I'm pretty decent at it now. In the forehead.
Do those little guys in the windows, like, throwing themselves around, do they do anything to your character, or are they just decoration?
Only the minions that you can, physically run into matter. The ones that are, like, behind walls or looking out through windows or, like, Bakuki in that one other room,
Oh, okay.
They don't matter. Can't do anything.
I was really clenched. I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna hit you, but then I was like, you're floating over him, huh?
Yeah, and it's possible at times to just not get seen by them, but that is not the developer-intended mechanic, for sure. This room terrifies me every time because it's a blind drop on the hay-bag. If you want to do it super fast, you can totally take your time and line it up, but I never do. And I've actually never died there, except when I wanted to, which is not as dumb as it sounds because there's a PlayStation trophy for dying in every room. But it still scares me every time. Getting the sheep into position while Larg is moving is probably possible, but it's nothing I'm interested in trying to optimize. If anyone wants to do that, feel free. You can take the record, quote-unquote record in this game from me. I'm the only person who's ever
I was
this game,
actually just about to ask that, because I was going to say, I saw, I didn't find any other people on a leaderboard or anything, so.
Yeah, there aren't. It's just me. Once the hammer goes back up, you are perfectly safe. There is nothing this minion can do to hurt you. But I would love other people to run this game. It's such a great game. And it's a pretty fun run, too. It's, kind of relaxing if you haven't horribly optimized all the rooms. But still, it's a fairly simple run. I don't think easy is quite fair to say, but it's definitely simple. There's no huge tricks, there's no real glitches, no frame-perfect inputs. There's not even much RNG. You just know the rooms and you do them fast. This is a tough room. I believe in my splits, when I run against splits, this one's a gold split, so that makes this fun to run against. You need to get 5 sheep down to the bottom. The quickest way to do it is 2, 2, and 1. I've never been able to get more than 2 at once. That's a pretty good start.
Since you said you're the only person who runs this game, what got you to try to run this game and optimize it?
I played it and I liked it, Nothing more to it than that.
Awesome. Well, enough.
That's really all you need. Yes, this game was a free title on PlayStation Plus probably over a year ago now. I don't even remember when. And it just sat on my hard drive forever and ever until I finally decided to play it. And I was like, I love this game. So I wanted to keep playing it. And speedrunning provides eminent replay value. Okay, he's got a friend who also needs to get on here. You may notice at this point, Lil is going to start backtracking through rooms Larg has already been in. Bubble butt, indeed. Yes. Oh, all the rooms have sort of cheeky and or punny names, which is cool. This is the room with the sheep that I mentioned earlier. This is another one that Larg went through, that Lil is going through backwards. I don't know if that means the developers were running out of ideas for rooms, and I just said, oh, you know, let's let the other character go through this room backwards. Or maybe it's just what they wanted to do all along. I honestly don't know. I've actually managed to softlock the game, floating up through that pipe. You can land on an invisible platform on top of it, and there's nothing you can do there. You can't even die to reset the room. I mean, you can reset it from the menu, so it's not a true softlock, but it's, for all intents and purposes, a softlock. Alright. So we got some minions to kill here. I like this arrow pointing to the button, as if you aren't going to notice the button. Oh, that might be bad. Okay, good. Trap you can fall into here is pulling these two cylinders out at the same time. If you do that, the second one won't be out long enough, and you'll fall and die. Glad to hear that. So we have to take this guy out, move the lift down, start Lil forward. Oh, that might be bad. Okay, good. The game makes it look like there's two ways to the finish of this room here, a high road or a low road. There actually isn't. Only the high road gets you there. Hashtag today I learned. A rotating fan will cool off lava. Who knew? Now, the minions are stupid, but they have a self-preservation instinct. You have to turn off the electricity before they move onto it. If the floor was still electrically charged, the minion would not have walked to it.
Sorry for that weird noise. My cat's flipping on over his own tail.
Is that alright? No, I don't like that. That's fine, I guess. I was actually watching a casual player play this game on their stream earlier tonight, and they had such trouble with this room. It's a tricky one, don't get me wrong. Okay, that's actually bad. We need to have it stopped there. Then do that. And since Larg can safely walk into the flat part of the blade here, we can just move him forward and have him wait until Lil gets through, then release that, and push him past. Rooms are starting to get okay, let's let that smoke dissipate. Rooms are starting to get a little bit harder now. These oil drops, I said there's not much RNG in the game. These oil drops are RNG. You have to wait for the opening they give you. Lil hits the button to turn off the oil drops. I'll send him to the right. Now Larg needs to join him. No. I made a tiny mistake there. Like I said, the rooms all have cheeky and or punny names. This is the only room where you can die by doing nothing. If you just stand here, eventually the smoke in this first little zone will kill Lil. That might be too high. Okay, good. This is kind of a puzzle room. You get Larg to turn this wheel. Or valve, I guess you would call it. Which overflows the smoke. Plug up the holes one by one. More clear than this one, than that one. I'm not sure they're the same every time. Lil hits the button, and that lets our boys get out of the room. This is a tricky room in a first playthrough. You know, you see this blade right here, it's too low for Larg to get past it, so what you need to do is move it ever so slightly. That allows Larg to get past. You need the boys to not be on the far left edge of the lift platform. If they are, like where the spinning circles are being drawn on the screen, if they're there, the blade will kill them. This is another sheep room, but it's much easier than the other sheep rooms. For one thing, you only need 2 sheep in this room, not 5. Stop Larg on that button, radiates the helium. There it goes. Lil has his own button inside his little room up here. Now we need to bring 2 sheep down to hit the other button on the ground. Okay, that was bad. I've never managed to bring 2 down at once. I've been able to do 1 and 1. Sheep run away from knocks against the wall, minions run toward knocks on the wall. That's why you can't do 2 at once. And the sheep kind of have to stay on the button for a 1/1000 count. They can't just both run across it. So this has gone pretty well. Lil starts this room by hitting that button. This will retract both of these floor platforms under Lil's feet, as well as raise this lift platform that Larg is on. You have to get Lil to the exit before Larg's lift platform blocks it off, but that's not at all hard to do. Through that cutscene. There isn't much story to this game, but there are a couple of little cutscenes. Get Lil to drink the coffee. Get Larg to break the obstruction and immediately stop him, or else he would run into the oil and die. Plugging up the oil starts that smoke. It's easily plugged. This room is not very hard, but it has killed 3 of my deathless attempts. Let's not make it 4. There we go. It's the oil drop RNG that gets you. I almost bought it in that room. the Cookie's Health Spa. This is a tough room until you know how to do it. Which I guess goes for pretty much everything in this game. You drink the steam, or helium, but it's a steam pipe, really. Get up into this corner, hit that. Thrust once. This should have been on the other side. Thrust again, move it back. Thrust a third time, move it. There are some pretty tight inputs in some of the later rooms in the game, but as I said, some of the later rooms are actually quite easy. Like this one is not hard at all in the third deck. You just have to drink the coffee. Get that going, and use your 3 coffee dashes to get past. Okay, leap of faith. This is a tough. You drink the coffee, you get just past the coffee bot, dash twice. You have to push in a couple of those bars, and I got it. I mean, what you have to do is fairly simple, but it's very easy to not get it correct. This looks like this should be a room with minions in it, but it actually isn't. There are no minions in this room. There are a few paths you can take through these cylinders to get through the door. None are substantially shorter than any others. This room is ergonomically incorrect. You have to contort your hand to get through this room, let me tell you. Because you have to have the fan going and push those cylinders back. It's very simple, very straightforward what you have to do, but it kind of hurts to do it. Beware the Claw. This is probably the hardest room in the game. You have to take a very specific and very tight line up here to not get hit by the claws. And my hands are shaking a little bit at this point, guys, because this is a really outstanding run.
Oh man, if you PB, that'll be awesome.
Claws. I'm not sure if I'll PB by time, because I did a few marathon safety strats. But I haven't died yet, and this is the last truly difficult room. You know, a couple of the later rooms control me. And they have in the past. Like I said, I've never had a deathless run. But we are getting awfully gosh darn close. This room has trolled me before, even though it's really, really simple. You just have to drop out one floor at a time. And don't go too below. If you go too below, you're dead, because Lark can't survive a fall that distance. Okay. Get hyped.
Oh boy, we're hyped for a deathless run. I thought the other battery was coming forward sooner than it did. I tried to stop, but he didn't stop fast enough. Hey, one death would still be pretty cool. This room is really a troll. I don't know how else to put it. There's several ways to do it. They all start with moving the minion to the other side. You can use these sheep as the titular bodyguards of this room, but I've never been able to do that reliably, and certainly not reliably quickly. So what I do, and this is not a strategy I came up with myself, but it's what I do, I use the lift platform itself as the titular bodyguard.
No, it wasn't nerves. I'm not actually that nervous. It was just it was just a miscalculation. I thought the left-hand battery in that room was going to come forward sooner than it did. This room right here is the deepest I've taken a Deathless. Even though this room is quite simple. I managed to die in this room in a Deathless, and that one was nerves when that happened. Guys, we can still get hyped. This is still an outstanding run.
Oh man, it's been hype. It has stayed hype.
I appreciate that.
I'm probably, after I'm done hosting, I'm probably gonna go grab the Vita and see if this is still free from PlayStation Plus.
No, it was like a year and a half ago.
I don't know, sometimes games go away but then they come back again. It's kind of weird.
Well, I suppose it's worth
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it couldn't hurt. And I don't see the game being more than like 10, 15 bucks at most.
Yeah. Doing a little marathon safety here, too. Ordinarily, I would have both of these characters moving toward the door at the same time. But that's a little risky. 2 deaths. I don't know how that happened. That really should not have happened. I deflated twice and I was dead. You should be able to deflate 3 times before you're out of air. So I don't know why that happened, to be perfectly honest. I've had 2 2-death runs in addition to my 1 1-death run. So this could enter a 3-way tie for, you know, by deaths, my best runs ever. I just realized that you could get Lil to the bubble up above. I don't think that's faster, but it's definitely safer. So maybe I might want to do that as a marathon safety strat. This here is the last room, so get ready on time. And I mentioned watching a casual player play this earlier today. Only in watching them did I notice this brick. I always thought that when Lil walked through underneath the rocket, that it was the rocket fuse that killed him. No, it's the brick. So, you know, for the 100 times I've played this game, I've always grabbed a bubble and brought Lil up and over the rocket. Every single time. And it's, you know, next time I run against Spence, it's a free, like, 3-second time save by not doing that. I could not believe it when I saw a player I was watching earlier do that. It's like, how did I never see that? Okay, time when the statistics screen comes up for this room. 2 deaths is amazing.